Well, howdy. Looks like the tree has had blooms, so I should be getting some peaches, and I've had multiple blooms. Now this is, of course, if we don't have a nasty freeze, and let me tell you something about the Texas Panhandle. Just because March is over doesn't mean the freezes are over. It has been known to freeze here in April and snow, so I'm hoping. Anyway, the tree's coming out with the leaves. It's looking really good, looking very healthy all the way around. And just wanted to share this with you first. Oh, by the way, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Please click the like button, and also drop a comment down below. I want to show you the rest of the garden. We're going to get into the high tunnel in a minute. We'll take a look at the seedlings. A bunch of those are ready to go in the ground right now, and I'm about to start that. And I'm going to show you what I'll do to accelerate their growth. These trees are looking beautiful. They really are. Well, there's our seedlings. I wanted to show these to you. Of course, I got the red cabbage going on here, green cabbage, some broccoli over here. The okra, so the part of it that has come up, is doing really well. And my tomatoes are struggling a little bit, but I'm about to get them into the ground and see if we can save them. And if not, well, there's more seeds. So that's how I've got this going. And let's take a look over on the side here. I've got the nectarine tree, and my onions. Onion crop is coming up real nice. All right, and so here's the other tree. Now I had some budding on this one, still got plenty of blooms on it, and so I'm expecting some nectarines to grow out on this tree as well. Didn't have quite as much blooming as the peach tree. We'll see what it does. And right behind me over here, got the onions doing their thing. It looks like I need to get busy in water today also. It's looking a bit dry. There we are. Now we can see those onions right there. They're doing all right. Back in the high tunnel. And I wanted to show you this corner again. Here are some of the asparagus. They're starting to fern. Now I've let some of these smaller, weaker rhizomes go ahead and fern. And I want to do that just to strengthen them up a little bit. This rhizome is putting out some decent spears here. But when it put out this little slender stalk, I decided, okay, I'm just going to let that one fern. Again, to strengthen that plant. And back here I've got some asparagus that I need to go ahead and harvest. The asparagus is coming out good. I had my first batch the other day, and it was flat delicious. Oh man, let me tell you. Now I had to go ahead and put on some sunglasses because the glare out here is phenomenally bright. I mean, it still hurts my eyes even with these glasses on, facing the sun. In a minute I'm going to turn the camera around. It'll be a little easier on me. But I want to show you this end. This over here was a Brussels sprouts from last year that never really did very well, and I said, oh, just let it grow. And I've got some fennel that's coming up by itself from last year's growth. So nothing unusual, just stuff growing. Now I've got a beautiful patch of thyme growing right down here. Now my hand just smells of thyme. Delicious. And of course, lots of garlic growing the whole perimeter, and it has just really been doing good. Now I wanted to show you also the plants that I have under covers. In other words, inside of bottles. I took old bottles, plastic bottles, cut the bottoms off of them, and then used those. Some are liquor bottles, some are apple juice bottles, some milk containers, you know, just anything plastic will work. And I have found out they work phenomenally well for getting your seedlings started in cold environments. And so we'll take a look at that next. It's quite surprising. Now, right here, I have these that I wanted to go to seed. And they've gone to seed. I'm going to be plucking these heads off of them and letting them dry so I can harvest the seeds out of those flower heads. And that way, I've got bunching onion seeds for as long as I want. And it was just all because I left them in the ground to do their own thing. So sometimes I grow things for their seeds or for the product or whatever. There's a lot of reasons to grow plants, and if you're looking to be your own seed saver, this is one of the things you do. Behind me I've got some strawberries planted. We'll see what happens there. The rhizomes were looking kind of dry, so I'm doubtful. We'll see. Now let's take a look at, I've got kohlrabi over here. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so here we have some of the containers. Here is some of my growth. Look at that. Big, beautiful, healthy growth. All right, so we can see how having these things on, even on those nights where it was freezing out here, has really benefited these plants. So, and I can take these off now since the nights are getting warmer, the plants are more mature, and they're going to start producing soon. I'm going to help them. Now in the back corner over there is one that's been coming up, but it hasn't been protected. And look, it's nowhere near strong or healthy. These will strengthen up on their base. They're kind of flopping over, but they'll do good now that I have the top off of them. They'll be able to grow very well. So yeah, using those little plastic containers, ladies and gentlemen, I'll vouch for them. They work like a charm. Do them over all of your seedlings and watch your seedlings just accelerate in the winter time. Okay, so if you've got cold weather or if it's going to be down in the 20s or something, those things actually work. All right, we have the same thing here, and I have lettuce underneath these containers. Look at that big, beautiful lettuce growth. Oh, wow. Man, these things work like a charm. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've wondered, now if you don't have a high tunnel, but you want to get this kind of a same effect, what you would do is you would do the bottle over the vegetable, and then at night put a bucket over that, and you've got your double layer and your vegetables will grow. And that's what gave me the idea for this. I saw somebody doing that, and I thought that would be really cool. I need to look into it. So here we have gorgeous lettuce growing. I've got more down that way, and so the vegetables are doing great. Well, here we are. I've got big, beautiful heads of lettuce coming up. My carrots, I've already been pulling some of those. In fact, I'll probably pull some more today for our dinner. So I'll be doing probably some milk braised carrots or something simple like that. Back here, tomato plants, Romas. These, I thought I may have lost them because we had a morning that was not supposed to get out of the 30s. In fact, it was supposed to be in the mid 30s. And the temperature actually dropped to 26. And the screen was open. Well, I was afraid I may have lost them, but it looks like they made it through it. All right, so great hope for our 2 Romas that we have going here. There'll be more planted behind me. I've got my chives doing great. This right here is tarragon, and I need to cut it down by half. Tarragon will take over, so be careful about it. It's a very thick, dense, and you have to kind of cut it back every 2 or 3 years. When I say cut it back, I mean like tear out roots. So, but that's a good time to share with friends and family and stuff like that. So consider that. Anyway, here we have it. This is gardening in the high tunnel. It is the beginning of April. March we're done with. And things are looking great in here. Now I've learned my lesson. Next year, in the fall, probably October, November area, I'll be coming out here and planting this thing. And I'll be using these little plastic toppers, like this here, same ones that you saw me use on these other plants. And that way I can get things up and growing and have myself some really good winter crop going in here. I would love to be growing my lettuce and carrots and stuff through the winter. Very cool. All right. And then in addition, my plans are to, in the center gardens here, maybe build some hot boxes. So I'll have some raised sides with a glass top on them that allows them to be kind of in a double insulated way. In other words, you have a hot box inside of a high tunnel. In the winter time, that equals springtime inside that hot box. It's amazing how well it works. So I'm very interested in growing this whole idea and producing a 4-season garden. So that's my goal for this year, is to change this from what it was, which was a 3-season extended season way to get rid of moths and turn it into something greater than I anticipated when I built it. So there we have it. Anyway, hey, this is Texas Cooking Today. Thank you very much for watching. It was fun doing this. If you like this video, tell me what you like about it. If you hate it, give it a thumbs down and tell me what you hate about it. And if you would, any suggestions down in the comments is always appreciated. Please subscribe, and folks, have a good day. Now, I need to pick myself a salad. Yummy. There we go. There's some of that lettuce. And right behind it there, you see the carrots. In the middle of my carrots came up some red leaf lettuce. Well, interesting how sometimes a seed that's just been hanging out for a year will make itself known. Stuff like that happens. Okay, let's take a look down here. As I mentioned, we had these tomato plants down here. I hope those are coming through okay. There we go, made a little adjustment there. So I've got my 2 tomato plants. Of course, got one back there and this one down here. And of course, down below here, we've got a bunch of our tarragon and the chives going on. Along the side, garlic all the way around. Looking good, a few weeds here and there. On the whole, a fairly healthy garden.